very sadly, on average, people with a learning disability die 20 to 30 years younger than the general population. So put that into perspective, I'm 54. So in theory, if I was somebody with a learning disability, I would die now. And I want to live until my 80s, 90s. I want to see my children and grandchildren grow up. And as Karen said, people with a learning disability are 70% more likely to access emergency services rather than going to their GP. Often they are unable to understand that they have got something wrong with them and therefore don't necessarily access their GP. So on average, we have 2 people who die with a learning disability every week in North Cumbria. And of those people, we do what's called a leader review. So we review their life and death. So anyone who dies with a learning disability age 4 and over, or anyone who is autistic, we do a review of their life and death to identify where things have gone right and where things have gone wrong, and to put things in place to prevent those things happening in the future. So anybody with a learning disability age 14 and over are entitled to have what's called an annual health check. And that's a check where they can go to their GP practice to talk about the things that's worrying them. And they have a physical examination to identify early where things are going wrong, to hopefully prevent people dying earlier. At the end of the annual health check, they should have what's called a health action plan. And a health action plan is a summary of the things that was discussed in their annual health check. It's a record of the goals and the things that that person wants to achieve to prevent those things going wrong in the future. So the health action plan is, as I say, it's a summary and it's got all the goals to help the person identify what's wrong with them. So what was wrong with the previous plan? So the plan that was available in EMIS to the GP practices, there was lack of use of that plan. It wasn't user-friendly and it lacked essential information. So as a group, we did a big work project and that covered, so Karen explained all the different people who were involved, and it was very much co-produced, and we co-produced that with patients and with families and carers to make sure the voice of that patient was involved, and they decided what they wanted to be in that plan. So the new plan was now user-friendly. The demographics, all the information that was discussed in the annual health check is pulled through automatically into the new health action plan. So we had a group of staff, so Primus, so there's 2 of the girls sitting at the back, or I think one's gone, Carol sitting at the back. So their team are a team that support the GP practices with their EMIS systems to ensure that the correct information was pulling through into the document, and also it was automated, so it was much easier for clinicians to use. So Lou, from a patient point of view, how do you feel it's improved, and from a co-production view?
Right.
You might need to move closer to the...
Sorry, I'll just move up a bit.
Can everyone, oh, Lou hasn't spoken, but can you speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Hi. Yes, I think it's improved dramatically, because I myself, a few months ago, I also went for an annual health check, because before it was really for people with learning difficulties, basically it was really non-existent. So I think it has dramatically improved, and things are more user-friendly, and I think they need to be, because sometimes it's not just information for people with learning disabilities that people find it hard to understand, but people, in the general population might find things difficult to understand, I think. So yes, I do think it has, and I think it's important to all work together rather than people with disabilities being involved in part of the process. I think it's important that they're involved in in all of it. And because everybody, regardless of disability or not, everybody has different needs and different understandings. And I think that's why it's important that everybody works together with anything that they do.
And so from a record point of view, it means you have got a printed copy to take home with you, Lou.
Yes.
And then you can show it to your...
Yes, I can. I show it to my family, and where I live in extra care housing. I actually went with the member of staff for the health check, and they actually supported me if I needed to understand any information, and then there's a record of it. And one of my main goals was to lose weight, and that's exactly what I'm in the process of doing at the moment.
Well done. So it ensures that you as patients can show it to your health professionals
Yes,
and carers, and they
that's
can
right.
help you to achieve those goals throughout the year.
They can, yes, they can.
And to hopefully prevent you becoming poorly or more poorly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide, Lou.
Okay.
So the future, so the support. So Primus are very much supporting GP practices with the tools to ensure that it is user friendly. It's and as I say, it's all automated. So it does reduce the health inequalities for patients with a learning disability, in that it identifies early where they are potentially where things are going wrong and things can be prevented. It also improves the patient outcomes and hopefully will stop people dying too young. So the project, the health action plan we've shared locally to all of the GP practices in North Cumbria, and we've also shared it nationally, and it has been rolled out with the Learning Disability Network from the North East. So we're very proud of it, Lou, aren't we?
We are, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the next goal is to take it internationally, I think.